In algebra, you learned how to graph an equation. During this course, during geometry, you were going to learn to apply all of those algebra skills you required to solve geometric problems. One of those skills being how to graph an equation. So let's review how to graph the equation. First thing we want to do, we identify our equation and we want to create a table of x values. So the x values are what we or you, the student, choose. Those are all up to you. My suggestion to you when you're creating a table is to pick x values between -4 and +4, small values. So now when we say we're choosing values for x, what does that mean? Where does that get us? It means that, for instance, if I pick -4 for x, that means I'm going to take that -4 and plug it in for the x in my equation. So instead of saying y is equal to -x minus 2, I'm going to say y is equal to negative, plug in -4 minus 2. So a negative is going to give me 4 minus 2. So y is going to be equal to +2, which here is the value that they plugged in. So this is what happened for this whole pink row. They took their value of x, plugged it into the equation, solved for y, and then it spit out their answer. So now we take all of those points and we plot them on our graph, and this is the result that we get. We can also strictly just use the equation to help us graph as well. Remember that in your equation, y is equal to -x minus 2, you have two things that we can see. Since this equation is in slope-intercept form, or y equals mx plus b, where b is the y-intercept and m is my slope, if I just look at my equation, I can find my y-intercept, which is -2 right there, and I can see that my slope is a -1, which means my slope goes down 1 over 1, down 1 over 1. So in order to graph this line from just the equation, I would mark my line, or excuse me, I would mark my y-intercept first, and then from there I would count down 1 over 1, down 1 over 1 until I had a couple points, and then I would just complete the line through. So you have two options. You can use this method, okay, of plugging in and plugging into a table and solving to get points, plotting those points and graphing them. You can also recall back to when you talked about slope-intercept form and where you searched for your y-intercept and your slope. Either method will help you plot these lines onto a graph, but you need to be able to plot a line on a graph from just one given equation.